Today's knockout here in San Jose, California, with Bellator light heavyweight champion Liam McGeary, about 48 hours away from making your first title defense, I believe, right? First title defense against Tito Ortiz. Can you just talk about what's going through your head right now?
Hypothetical. Excitement. I'm looking forward to going. What's going to happen on Saturday night?
Would you sign to fight Bellator?
What I'm going to eat for the next in the next few hours. That's pretty much it.
And I know you had talked about the how you were starstruck when you first met Tito way back when, because you know how having been such a dominant champion in the UFC, or a very dominant champion in the sport. Is that still something that lingers on with you? Are you still starstruck when you see him, or has that faded away?
No, man, that faded away. You know, I had the initial first time reaction, you know, and it's like the first time I see all these UFC or any of these MMA fighters that I've seen, you know, it's like. It's wow, that's so and so, that's so and so, that's so. Like, I know that Gilbert Melendez is in the house there, and I was like, whoa, you know, it's like he's here. But you know what, it passes, you know, the first initial shock. But now I've spent the last 16 weeks training to punch this guy in the face, so I'm not starstruck. I know exactly what I need to do, and I'm going to do it.
And is there anything about Tito's game that worries you at all going into this fight?
Not really, you know. I mean, I have to be aware of what he's going to do, but this is what I trained, you know. He's done the same things he's been doing for years. He's wanted to take me down and ground and pound in the guard, you know. That used to work back in the old days, but not anymore, you know. This is the time of the game has evolved massively, you know, and I'm a part of this evolvement, so I'm happy to take on whatever he wants to offer, and I'll throw back exactly what I'm going to do.
I know, I think it was yesterday you had mentioned that, you know, you don't want Phil Davis to win the 4-man light heavyweight tournament on Saturday because you don't want any of these UFC guys to kind of get that shine that they used to get when they were with the UFC. But I mean, and then you had also mentioned that you kind of were a bit turned off by the idea that Tito was demanding a title shot against you, having, you know, only fought twice in Bellator. I mean, do you think that title shot is warranted for Tito?
No, definitely not. You know, it's only fought two people. He went in and beat two people. You know, the two people that he fought was someone who was a lot lighter than him. I mean, and Stephan Bonner. You know, there's other guys in the light heavyweight division that deserve a title shot. But saying that, I'm not gonna. This is not my problem. You know, it's like all I do is I fight. Okay, I don't care who the fuck is standing in front of me. Tito, Stephan Bonner. It makes no difference who it is to me, right? I fight. I'm a champion, and I defend my belt to whoever they put in front of me. Liam, you're fighting so and so. Okay, sound. When, where? I'll be ready. That's it.
And speaking of Phil Davis, I know you said you don't want him to win, but is that a fight that you'd be excited to have, knowing he was one of the top light heavyweights in the UFC division, knowing you could, you know, basically take him out and prove yourself to be an even more dominant champion, to the mainstream fans at least? I think a lot of people, you know, who are in the inn know that you are one of the better fighters in the light heavyweight division. But does fighting a guy like Phil Davis, seeing him win that tournament, does that boost your popularity, do you think?
I lost you when you was talking there. I mean, the whole Phil Davis thing. I mean, here I've got nothing against the guy. You know, it's not. I've met him. He's actually a sound dude. You know, but as for fighting, it's definitely going to boost my ratings. I don't know where he's rated in them. I don't even know what them rankings mean, right? But for him to come into Bellator and then be like, oh yeah, I want a title shot. I think I should get a title shot because he came from UFC. It doesn't work like that, you know. I mean, you have to fight. You have to fight and earn your position, earn a chance to fight for a belt. Prove yourself in this division. And I know that the three light heavyweights that he's going against, they're tough motherfuckers, right? So I'll let them take care of him. I'll take care of Tito, and then when me and Phil Davies meet, we meet, you know, and then I'll take care of business then.